Thank you very much for having us in your office, sir.
Thank you. You are welcome.
Could you tell us where we are at now with the entire work on the third mainland bridge?
The Honorable Minister of Works saw the level of work that the contractor has achieved so far. He was impressed, and that made him to announce to the public that February 15, that the bridge will be open to the public. Out of the 12 expansion joints that are needed to be changed, they are on the 10th expansion joint now. So it will now remain only one. And then the lane marking, those are the work that probably will make the work to be up to that February 15.
So the pandemic has really changed a lot of things. How has it affected the work on the third mainland bridge?
You know, the pandemic, when the first wave was first noticed early in March, the contractor could have started the work that time, but because of the pandemic, everybody left the site. Some of the expatriates, they even left the country. Some of the Nigerian workers, they left as well, some to their states, some to their villages. So there was lockdown that time. There was restriction in movement. People could not come. So the people that travel outside the country, they couldn't come. And that delayed the starting of the rehabilitation work that would have been done on Third Mainland Bridge till July 21st. Now that it looks as if the second wave is around now, because the number is increasing on a daily basis, we have talked to our workers. When you are site, please, in as much as you have to touch tools, you have to handle equipment, you need to sanitize your hand regularly. A contractor has provided that.
These changes, I mean, some of the things you mentioned was not in the original budget, I presume. So how has this affected the budget for the bridge?
So far, the contractor is on course. We have not had any reason to say he has requested for variation of the contract. The contract is still being managed within the contract amount. So, and I'm sure we will not exceed the contract amount while completing this project. So the pandemic, economically, it has not affected the project.
What are some of the complaints that your office has had to deal with this alternative route that was created in order for the work to be done?
Well, some of the complaints that we have had is some of the things that you have mentioned, that people are being robbed. You see the traffic building up, and then that has caused a lot of delay to some people, either to get to their offices or to get to their homes. Before the partial closure of Third Mainland Bridge, the federal government spent a lot of money, and then in making sure that all the alternative roads are in good condition. With this some palliative work, the Lagos state government too as well, they did some palliative work. The reason for doing that is just to make sure that there is no traffic, no gridlock, no robbery, but unfortunately we experienced some.
The minister mentioned something about how the maintenance work is affecting work to be done on the Phallomore Bridge. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yes, you know, Phallomore Bridge is at the island. Third Mainland Bridge is also connecting island to the mainland. So if we now close Phallomore Bridge because we want to remove the expansion joint, and work is ongoing at Third Mainland Bridge where we have partial closure, which means the people living around that, that is Lekki, Aja, Victoria Island, Ikoyi, it means we have now blocked them from coming out. So that's why the Honorable Minister said we have done some works at Phallomore, but if we want to remove the expansion joint, we have to close the bridge, just as we are doing on Third Mainland Bridge. In order not to close the two bridges at the same time, we are concentrating now on Third Mainland Bridge. When we complete that one, we will now get approval of the Honorable Minister to move to Phallomore, and then we will now do the change the expansion joint. So at that time when we are now working at Phallomore, we will be doing some underneath work on that third mainland bridge because we still have some more works to be done.
You did talk to us a bit about this when we spoke earlier, but I want you to explain a little in depth the maintenance of the third mainland bridge going forward, because one of the things that the project contractor, Dr. Pronos, talked about was consistent maintenance, that if that is not done, all the work that is being done now might turn out to be futile and the lifespan of the bridge will be reduced. So what are the long-term plans?
You see, maintenance activities is a general thing and it's a regular activities. Why the third mainland bridge is so peculiar and so noticeable, number one, is because of its location. It connects mainland to the highland. And then because of its length, we are talking of almost 12 kilometers. 12 kilometers. So we do maintenance of other bridges as well, which does not make noise. In other states, not only Lagos State. In Lagos here, we have almost 40 bridges in Lagos alone. So, and we do maintain these bridges often and often. Now, the work we are doing now is rehabilitation. That is, you are now bringing it back to the original position. That is as if it's newly constructed. That's it. That's the rehabilitation. You have rehabilitated it to still continue to serve. So the expansion joint we have changed now. We are talking of about 12 number. Within the next 30 to 40 years, we will not be talking of changing those one now. The only thing that probably we'll be doing as time goes on is just the rubber in between the metal. You have visited the place, you will see that in between the metal we have a rubber inside. Those rubber can wear out. So if the rubber has worn out, we need to replace them.
Okay, we'll talk a bit more about that, but I wanted to go back to workforce. A lot of persons are afraid to come out to work because they're scared of getting infected with COVID-19. So how did you manage to keep them motivated so that they can actually be at work?
As engineers, bulk of the staff of highways are engineers trained under hot condition, wet condition, hard condition. So we know that sometimes you have to face such a challenge. We have challenges here and there, but we face it. Now, doctors that are in the hospital, they do work. They go to work to make sure they even treat somebody that people have said, I don't near that person, probably, but they are treating them. So our own work, we talk to ourselves, make sure you protect yourself.
How satisfied are you with the overall work that this government has done when it comes to maintenance of not just the third mainland bridge, but bridges across this country?
You know, Federal Ministry of Works, we are shadowed with the responsibility of constructing, maintaining all federal roads and bridges. As I told you, we have over 40 bridges in Lagos State that the federal government maintains regularly. So when we want to give maintenance work to any of our contractors, we know the performances, we know the categories of people that we give to.
What has your experience been, being the controller of works in a state as huge and economically, vibrant as Lagos?
If you come to Lagos as a controller, and then it's more or less, it's like you are covering the whole nation as a controller, because you have the highest number of bridges in Lagos, Then even the attitude of the people when it comes to traffic on the road. But we have been able to manage. I came from Ogun State. I was controller in Ogun State. And I'm sure you did not know me that time. We still have a controller there that is also doing his own work as I'm doing here. We have controller in every state, but Lagos is so unique and so peculiar. I want to say on behalf of the federal government to thank His Excellency, Governor Sanwo-Olu. There is no time that we have any problem concerning road that we run to him that he will not assist through the SA works and then the Commissioner for Transportation. We discuss one-to-one, we see one-to-one. This third mainland bridge, we are managing it together. And that makes my works less challenging. I have less headache because, as you have said, Lagos is very unique. It's very unique.
Well, what is one major challenge that you can remember since you took up this position that made you bite your finger a little, but you got it solved?
Okay, the one that I would say that probably I remember was when there was a NSAS protest. We were to walk that very day on Third Mainland Bridge. All the barriers, all the signs were removed by the hoodlums. And you know that time, the police, they left the road. There was no way we could do the work. So, but the equipment, they were to vandalize it. But yes, the Brunei Prono equipment, they came there, they were to vandalize it. But when they called me, I told the project manager, I said, please, the police will not come out by this time because of what I called the commissioner of police. He said, for now, I think that was the day some policemen were killed at Adekunle. So there was no way they could come out. But thank God, the neighboring communities, they were able to repel them, they defended them. Then that was how we were able to solve that problem. There was no issue of burning our equipment or burning, but the signs up to today, we cannot find them. The barriers, the barricade, what they plan to do with it, we don't know, but they were all stolen.
We'll continue working in spite of that.
After that, we continue. The Commissioner of Police gave us his support. He personally came to see that we move on. The GM last month was also there, and then the sector commanders. So that was how we continue with our project. So you can see that it was a very nice experience.
It's been a real pleasure talking with you today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.